Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay, here for the 34th installment of my Road to WrestleMania series, in which I review each and every WrestleMania from 1 to 41 in the countdown to WrestleMania 41 on April the 20th. And here we are at WrestleMania 34, coming to you live April the 8th, 2018. This is the return after 4 years of WWE to New Orleans, Louisiana, the Big Easy. And what do they have planned for us? Well, first off, we have a rematch. The two men who defeated The Undertaker in all of WrestleMania history will be facing one another. In a rematch from WrestleMania 31, we have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's reign as the Universal Champion was criticized by many, including Roman Reigns himself, because Brock Lesnar was a part-timer at this time and rarely appeared on TV and kind of held the Universal Championship hostage. So Roman won a couple of qualifying matches, and here he is, voila, taking on Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. What other matches do we have in store? What does WWE have in store? They have the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura, becoming the first Japanese wrestler to ever win the Royal Rumble, taking on his old foe from back in their Japan days. They had a bunch of classic matches. AJ Styles. So technically, AJ Styles gets main event billing at co-main event billing here at this WrestleMania. And for the first time ever in WWE history, we had the Women's Royal Rumble. Women had never had a Royal Rumble before this, but now they do, and it is won by the undefeated phenomenon from NXT, Asuka. And she will be challenging Charlotte Flair. So pretty much those are your main events. Oops, I forgot one. At that same Royal Rumble, somebody came out to her song, My Bad Reputation. And it was Ronda Rousey, the former UFC champion. The phenomenon of UFC, the female Mike Tyson, the baddest woman on the planet. This woman made UFC immensely popular. It was already popular, like I was saying, during the Lesnar era, surpassing both WWE and boxing. But when she came in after the acquisition of Strikeforce in 2013, originally Dana White had stated that he would never, because I remember watching him on off the record. This was a Canadian show where a lot of MMA and wrestling people would appear on. Mostly it was just wrestling people in the 90s. But, after MMA became popular, Dana White appeared on there, and he said he would never have women in the UFC. But because of Ronda Rousey and because of people like Cyborg Santos, right? And people like, who's that girl from The Mandalorian? Gina Carano. Yes, Gina Carano. Because of women like her, women like this that were burning it up in other MMA promotions like Strikeforce, which was a startup, Dana White caved after he acquired Strikeforce because what Dana started to do, especially with the acquisition of Pride in 2007, was he became like an MMA version of Vince. He started to acquire every other MMA promotion out there before he was the only one left standing. And he brought in Ronda, and Ronda was a phenomenon, man. The way Ronda will make quick work of these girls, just fucking them up, and and just getting them to tap immediately, like in under like 3 or 4 minutes. Misha Tate, for example, is one example. It was attracting a lot of eyeballs to the UFC, and somebody that helped train Ronda in judo was Judo Jean LaBelle, and she was a pro wrestling fan, was Ronda, and she adopted the moniker of Rowdy Ronda Rousey, and Roddy Piper blessed her with it, and you know, so it was no surprise that after her historic loss to Holly Holm, as well as her loss to Amanda Nunes, and she was done with the UFC, that she would make her way to to the WWE because during her fights, man, Triple H and especially Stephanie McMahon, in real life on social media, they were like marks for her. You know what I mean? Oh, go Ronda, go Ronda. Every fight, cheering her on and shit. So she had a good relationship with WWE. So when it was time, she made the jump. And at the end of the 2018 Royal Rumble, she appears and points to the WrestleMania sign, kind of taken away from Asuka's thunder. Here, Asuka is making history, being the first woman to win the first women's Royal Rumble, and fucking Ronda, just waltzes in here from another side of entertainment and just steals poor Asuka's thunder. But it is what it is, and Asuka, still won the Royal Rumble, and she's still gonna face Charlotte. But what is Ronda gonna do? Ronda's picking up where she left off. She was in the feud with Triple H and Stephanie, so she needs a partner, and who's going to be her partner? Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle had been in TNA since 2006, but finally in 2017, he decided he was going to make his way back to the WWE. So here he is, his first WrestleMania back, and it will be a mixed tag team match. Himself and the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey, against Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon in a mixed tag team match. So there's all of your main matches. Let's go through the rest of the card, and I'll give my thoughts on it. Pre-show match: Matt Hardy won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal by eliminating Baron Corbin. They're wasting Matt Hardy already. Cedric Alexander, 205 Live match, defeated Mustafa Ali by pinfall. Pre-show match, and Naomi, who won last year, wins a 20-woman WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal against Bayley. The first televised match on the actual pay-per-view was Seth Rollins defeating the Miz and Finn Balor by pinfall, a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this next one, Charlotte beating Asuka. So New Orleans must be known for something, ending undefeated streaks, because fucking Asuka had this amazing undefeated streak on NXT. And now It is ended by Charlotte Flair. Increasingly, Charlotte Flair started to become like a prima donna, started to become like a female Cena, and this was at the point where this started to happen, where fans were just like, "Yo, fuck Charlotte, man." No, like, why does she have to end Asuka's streak? Okay. Jinder Mahal with Suni Singh defeats Randy Orton. Bobby Roode and Rusev, accompanied by Aiden English, by pinfall. This was around the time when Rusev was really getting over with Rusev Day. Like, today is Rusev Day. Today is Rusev Day. Like, this was his saying. So Rusev was super over with the New Orleans crowd. Did WWE do anything with him? No. Which is probably why he left. Um, and then we get to the Ronda Rousey match. This Ronda Rousey match was incredible. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon did all they could to put Ronda over. Like, Ronda actually, uh, beat up Triple H. Did moves to Triple H. Usually in a mixed tag match, women against women, men against men, but Ronda, Triple H put Ronda over lovely. And everybody was gloating about how great Ronda was, how natural a talent she was. Even Jim Cornette, was gloating. Even I was like, oh shit, I can't wait for Ronda to take over the main roster. That's when I put that picture up. When she was doing her thing. Little did we know that she actually sucked, and it was only it was only the people putting her over that made her look good. You know what I mean? And one thing we did find out in the wrestling world, like they already knew in the MMA world about Ronda Rousey, was that she can't take criticism. She was unable to take any kind of criticism whatsoever from fans, from fans, from journalists, from other competitors, other people that she worked with. Uh, MMA fans kind of knew that about her, but us as wrestling fans, we didn't. But we're about to get a taste of it over the course of the rest of 2018. Believe me. That we discovered that it was only the people putting her over that would make her ass look good. But he or she had a good showing. She had a really good showing. But we'll see what a difference a year makes when it comes to Ronda. Um, this next match, the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, defeat the Usos, the New Day, and Xavier Woods. Again, they're piling on with tag teams. Now, this is the one I want to get to. This is an impromptu Undertaker match. Undertaker comes out. First, Elias comes out. John, and there was talk about a John Cena versus Undertaker match on this show. But we didn't think it was going to happen. So Elias comes out, he calls out John Cena. John Cena comes out of the audience. Then The Undertaker comes out, and then boom, they have an impromptu match. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen because here you had two guys who've never really faced each other except for John Cena's early career. And then you have this impromptu match with Taker. Now, granted, I said last time that Undertaker should not have been there. You know what I mean? But the fact that they didn't do this for years and years before is what I'm saying. John Cena and Undertaker have been in the same company for years and years. We've gone through several WrestleManias where we've seen John Cena and we've seen The Undertaker, and they've never fought. So why do this now? It just seemed pretty out of the ordinary, to be honest with you. Daniel Bryan coming back to the city where he won the championship, and Shane McMahon, they defeat Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And I love this match simply because I was so happy for Daniel Bryan. After his emotional retirement in 2016, I thought we'd never see him back in the ring. But he was cleared again, and him and Shane McMahon had a hell of a tag team match. And the stipulation was, had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn won, they would have been rehired to SmackDown, but they did not win. Nia Jax defeated Alexa Bliss by pinfall. Yeah, I was liking Alexa Bliss at this point. She was super hot, and she was really over with me. Now, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. This matchup. Yes, David chimed in with exactly what I was thinking. Asuka's streak should never ever have ended against Charlotte Flair. This, I'm telling you, this pay-per-view, this WrestleMania, made people hate Charlotte Flair. Yeah, Alexa Bliss was super hot, man. I was loving her ass. You know, back then. Like, people think Liv Morgan, like a lot of the younger fans like Liv Morgan. And Liv is hot. You know, a lot of the younger guys like Liv. But Alexa, boy, she was doing something to me back then. Yeah, she was hot. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, I thought this match would be better than what it was. Honestly, this match here was a letdown. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't watching NXT at this time. Yeah, we could just call New Orleans the city where streaks end, David, because that's what it seems to be like. Whose streak's going to end at WrestleMania 42 when we get there next year? We got to see whatever streaks they have left. But, you know, I wasn't watching NXT at this time, and I didn't know that people telling me Nakamura was hella good, and I thought, okay, yeah, Nakamura must be great. I liked when he won the Royal Rumble. I liked that he won. But I wasn't impressed with the match with AJ Styles, to be honest with you. And the next match, oh my God, the next match. If that impromptu John Cena and Undertaker segment, that's what I'll call that, because that wasn't even a match, that was a segment. If that wasn't bad enough, the next match is the most embarrassing thing that I've ever seen on a WrestleMania. And we've seen a lot of embarrassing things on WrestleMania. We've seen worm images appear on Randy Orton's face just the year prior, right, at 33. But this, a 10-year-old boy named Nicholas wins the tag team championships with Bray Wyatt against Sheamus and Cesaro. What was McMahon thinking? Like Nicholas and Braun Strowman winning the tag team championships against an established team. Like just take the tag team belts and shit on them for all I care. Who cares anymore about the tag team championships if this is what you're gonna do, Vince? Terrible. And then we get to the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns 2. Now, I had high expectations for this match because I thought, shit, it can't be that bad. They fought each other already at WrestleMania 31 and it was good. Maybe this will be good too. Nope. This was terrible. They were throwing a beach ball around in the audience. They were chanting for CM Punk. They were chanting, "This is boring." They were chanting, "This sucks." You know, and then and to top it all off, WWE thought they were doing yet another swerve like they had done in 2015, 2 years before this, by not having Roman Reigns walk out of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the championship. Nope, they weren't. Brock Lesnar won the belt. Retained the belt, won the match, retained the belt, and looked like he got busted open the hard way. But he was so pissed off at how this match was received that he stormed in the back and he cursed out Vince. And I don't blame him. I mean, this match was an abortion. I mean, between the John Cena and Undertaker segments, Nicholas winning the tag team belts, fucking Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns 2, this whole pay-per-view was shit. You know, Ronda Rousey's debut and Daniel Bryan were the only thing that people were. Daniel Bryan's return were the only thing that people were talking about, honestly. I mean, shit. If I was Brock Lesnar, after this, I would have stormed in the back and punched Vince. I would have pulled the old Bret Hart in Montreal '97, but an updated version to 2018, and punch Vince. Why the fuck did you book this shit? It's horrible. Like I'm dying out there. A fucking beach ball. They were bouncing around a beach ball in the fucking audience, chanting for CM Punk. Terrible. Like Roman Reigns as a babyface, his main events as a babyface rank among some of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. Honestly, we haven't gotten to when he becomes a heel yet, but we will. We're two WrestleManias away from Roman Reigns' heel turn, and then his main events get better. Not the one with Brock Lesnar. I didn't like 38 either. But they get better. The triple threat match. Well, okay, we'll talk about it when we get when we get there. But this was atrocious. This main event. So this is a C-. I mean, this pay-per-view. What I would have did, like, instead of having Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey, It would have made more sense if it was Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar in the mixed tag match against Triple H and Stephanie. Because here you had two former UFC fighters, now WWE, now in WWE, and we could have had like a clash of worlds. You know what I mean? Like, and Ronda wasn't great on the mic. She sucked on the mic. So just have Paul Heyman be her advocate. You know, like that would have made sense to me. A heel Ronda, because she's coming into she already rained on Asuka's parade. Have her come in and say something like, "Oh, these women in WWE think they're tough. They're just a bunch of fake wrestlers." You know what I mean? They can't really fight. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You know what I mean? Or not outright say it, but imply it. Like, I come from the octagon. Me and Brock, we have real fighting credentials. Not like these WWE superstars like Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are putting out there. So in this way, you turn Triple H and Stephanie. They have been heels before, but you turn them baby faces because now they're forced to defend WWE. They're forced to defend what we love as WWE fans. That's what I would have done, and forgot about Roman and Brock. You know what I mean? Because what we had was just terrible. Maybe you could have put Roman with AJ Styles. You could have had, when he qualified to win the championship, you could have had him, Roman and AJ Styles. AJ Styles seemed to carry John Cena to a good match when they had the match at the Royal Rumble. So just put him with Roman. He could have probably carried Roman to something decent. You know what I mean? But what they gave us was shit. So anyway, we're moving on to back to the New York, New Jersey area, WrestleMania 35, where Ronda Rousey's skills will be on full display, and the event will make history. For those that are political, you could kind of jokingly call this Wokamania. You know what I mean? Because of the history-making events that happened on this show. WrestleMania 35 from MetLife Stadium. Another show that's underwhelming. And in this one, we see that Ronda Rousey cannot carry a main event by herself. So join me in the next one as we review WrestleMania 35. Thank you, David, for contributing. It's always fun when you come. And yes, Alexa Bliss will be one of the hosts for WrestleMania 35. So overall, this show, this was a true stinker. A true stinker if I ever saw one.